Hi, I'm CJ and this is my RC channel. In this video, I am preparing to start work on the fresh F3-RES. That is a rudder elevator spoiler 2-meter glider, and I apologize to anybody who's following the Fokker build. I had to kind of set that aside for a few days. There is a glider competition coming up, and if it isn't canceled due to the COVID virus, I'd really like to be there and have this glider with me. So I wanted to shift gears and crank this out and have this ready. This is a thermal duration event, no motor, so I don't have to worry about finishing the second fuselage. Some of you may recall that I am planning to build this particular glider with the stock fuselage and also scratch build a fuselage to go with it that will be basically the same size rudder and stab, same length of fuselage, maybe a little extra added on the nose for motor and battery space. I've already got the various items for that. So let me just go over some of the stuff I'm going to be using here. As you can see, I've got a new piece of foam board. As you can see, this is green as opposed to this pink stuff that is still down here. I just picked this up today, went to Lowe's, $13, and I was able to cut 2 sheets the width of my work table. So that's nice for, $6.50 a piece. These are the servos that I am going to be using. And I'm either going to, so I've got 4 of these. So I'll use the same pair for rudder and elevator in each of the 2 fuselages, and since I'm going to be using the same wing for either fuselage, I'm going to use this micro servo here for the spoiler. Now this is just a plastic gear servo. It's really light. It's a K-Power WK-P0025. If you want to look that up if you're curious. Anyway, that's going to be in the wing, and so I've got 2 pairs of these Turnigy's D56MGs. They've got some pretty good specs on them for their size. It's a Metal Gear digital servo, and I believe it's got a couple of bearings in it. Anyway, very nice micro servo. I'll be using the same receiver with the same type of receiver. I've got a pair of them. This is an Orange RX R618XL. It's a 6-channel DSMX DSM2 compatible, so it will bind with my Spectrum. So this is all the electric gear, and since one of them is going to be just a glider, that's the one I'm setting up now, I'll be using just a little 5-amp BEC, and that will provide power. And I will be using these as my flight batteries. It's the same Nanotech that I used with the Chrysalis Light. Those work quite nicely. I've got a few of these. And for the powered fuselage, I'm going to be running this motor. It's a Turnigy 2836. It's got enough torque to pull this glider quite nicely. It's not too big, but it should power it up to altitude quite quickly. Got a Turnigy 20-amp speed control, and I'm going to be using one of two sizes of batteries. This is a nanotech. These are actually for airsoft, that they can be used for anything. It's a standard F3-RES LiPo, and they come in different sizes. I've got two different sizes. I've got the these 1.4s and 1000s. That should be enough power for multiple climbs, but I wanted to have the option for something that might run a little longer. I'm gonna see, make a decision on these based on weight and space in the fuselage. As I had mentioned earlier, I might make the fuselage a little longer than the standard fuselage. That would be so that I could fit in this larger battery. Otherwise, I'm not going to worry about it. So that's the basic hardware. I recommend cutting your plans out. These plans are full size and it's a giant roll. If you've got a really big work table, go for it. But even if you had a work table big enough, you might find that you're reaching way out ahead of you to try to fit this, because without cutting these apart, as I have here, and arranging things, you end up with 6 feet of plans and probably 4 foot deep, and that might be a little too much. So I just trimmed out the relevant sections and then laid them down here under some plastic, pinned everything down, and so I'm going to start building. This is just a get started video. You've seen the unboxing, so you know basically what I'm looking at here. I'm going to dive right into getting these two tail feathers built, and then I'm going to start moving into the probably do the two outer wings and then the center wing section and last fuselage. I'm going to try to roll this out quick, and that way I can get right back to the Fokker, but I wanted to have this done ahead of the glider competition, so I've got an extra plane to bring with me if I go. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the new people who have subscribed. Please click like. If you have not subscribed, please do so. It's a huge help to me. Thanks again.